Howdy ho, neighborino. So my voice is somewhat back, and my insides feel like they've been mauled by an intestinal millipede, but I digress. I am here, and we are on Chapter 2 of the Divine Fest, which does mean that we now have new Divine chests, and it also means that we have new dragons available in the Divine Altar, because before Amaterasu and Poseidon weren't available for us to actually purchase, but as we are in Chapter 2, these guys have now been unlocked, and I'm going to be unlocking both of these guys today, because Poseidon, I've been waiting a long time for him to come back, and Amaterasu is needed for that Chrono Aphrodite collection, so I am going to unlock Amaterasu right now, because I've got 2,268 talismans, and so my next goal is going to be Koliada, and then finally Chrono Aphrodite. But this is Amaterasu, one of the brand new divines that we got from this Divine Fest, and a lot of people said they didn't like the design. I do quite like the colours, as in nice greenage, nice yellowish, but I think people were expecting a little bit different, if that makes any sense, just something different from what they got. But for this we do also get some of the milestone rewards, we get some free gems, some free tickets, free relics, more free tickets, very cool. So that is dragon number 1 that we have unlocked from this event. Poseidon, because I do have most of the pieces for him, he's only going to cost 110 talismans. So there we go. Finally, after this many years, I finally have Poseidon. Thank goody godness for that. So that is 2 new divines for me, because I never had Poseidon before. So like I said, the next goal, and actually only other goal that I have for this Divine Altar is Koliada, which is of course 1200 talismans, but technically with the point in the event that we're at, I could also go for Hoyi, but I don't know if I want to waste the gems for it. Because this is the point where it's like, I could go for Hoyi as well, really, with this amount of time left, but do I really want to waste the existing gems that I have when I could just save them for the next ancient event, for example? I think I'd probably be better off waiting for potentially a better dragon to come next time. So that's the reason why I'm kind of iffy on whether I want to spend anything on trying to go for Hoyi. You know, that's the thing about these events, because we do have a lot of personal player choice that comes into effect, you can sort of choose what you want to go for, which is something I really appreciate about these new new style of events, I should say. But either way, I guess we should pop in Amaterasu and Poseidon into our hatchery over here. Normally I wouldn't suggest clogging your hatchery with like 2 divines, but you know, I've got 4 hatchery slots, and I do have prana that is going to be ready to hatch. So I guess we will hatch prana 2 today, but, you know, the only thing that we really have to worry about this week aside from dungeon is of course the solo event. And we do have the brand new Iron Lion dragon in this, which might as well go for, but honestly the divine tickets are more the thing that I'm worried about. Although one thing I will point out with this Heart of Iron solo event is that we do have sacred apples as part of the leaderboard unlocks, which I'm really not a fan of, because this is just another pay-to-win version of making them more pay-to-win, which they didn't say that they were going to release them like this, but that does not surprise me at this point. Whenever they say that they're going to release a new feature in a particular way anymore, I just don't believe them, because usually they will go against what they said, which is exactly what this is. But anyway, we do have prana, which I did of course unlock yesterday from finishing off the castle event. And so a little prana here may only be an epic, but the upside to prana is that they are a part of the Chrono Aphrodite dragon collection. So this is the first dragon as part of this collection, the Love Collection. And I did just get Amaterasu, which will be hatching in like 4 days. So then we've just got Koliada and Gale, and then hopefully finally I will get Chrono Aphrodite. But anyway, the Prana Dragon separates into various segments throughout the day, but once it concentrates, take a deep breath, and aligns its parts, it becomes nearly unstoppable. Really? Prana does not look unstoppable. Maybe that's just my opinion, but it looks too cute to be unstoppable. Really? You're unstoppable? Maybe he has some crazy strength in there somewhere. But, you know, Glad to have a new dragon, of course, because that means more DCP, which takes us ever closer to Moth as we go, but I guess we'll take him up to level 20 here. Take a quick look at the adult form. Yeah, I'm still not seeing Unstoppable. You just look like a tin can. A dragony looking tin can. That's me. That's my opinion. But that is Prana. So in the meantime, I have just been doing short breeds between parts of the solo event. Because of course with solo event, you do every so often get breeding quests, but you also probably want to go for Dragon Master Pass points as well. So, you know, you got to keep all of these things in mind if you want to get all of the milestones for Dragon Master Pass, but also you want to get all of your event stuff done. You got to be mindful of what you're doing at the time. But this solo event, it gives an okay amount of divine tickets, a new dragon, so I might as well try and finish it off. But overall, we're probably not going to really have to use any more gems for the remainder of this Divine Fest to get everything that we want out of it. Because the only other thing that's really left, you know, aside from dungeons, which, you know, we'll keep doing more dungeons and more dungeons and more dungeons, because that's literally this game now. Doing more dungeons and getting more tickets out of the chests, that is literally just DML these days. But you know, especially when you already have the dungeon dragons like Cherry Ice, all of these dungeon dragons, I've already had them, so the only real incentive to be doing them is just the divine tickets. So that means that when I do actually get Koliada, I'm going to have very, very little incentive to keep logging in for this event, which I think is a good thing, because I kind of just want the event to be over. Except for that castle event that's going to be in week 4. Which is the only thing really that we have left to log in for after this. Which, you know, I can get Isis, the Isis dragon out of that, because I thought that I had Isis on this account. Turns out that no, I actually got Isis on my one of my old Android accounts a long time ago. So I never actually got the Isis dragon on Windows. I've made that mistake a few times of just thinking I have the dragon because I've gotten it before. And it turns out I actually got it on a different account. Silly me is all I can say to that. I don't know, it's just like, especially when you play the game for so long, I just forget which dragons I own anymore. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I just forget sometimes, like, oh, nope, you definitely don't have that on Windows. You got this on your Android account like 3 years ago. That's something to be aware of, me. But I digress, I guess I could get it again, and then it can feel new and exciting again. Though sometimes I do wonder what the game would feel like if I was just, you know, a brand new player that had never seen the game before. Would it still be okay to play? Would I have put it down within 5 minutes? I genuinely don't know. Maybe I would have put it down within 5 minutes. Maybe it's a good thing. Wow, did he just one-shot Erlang Shen? How could you? That is the thing to remember about this dungeon week. In the previous 2 dungeon weeks, we were quite blessed in terms of the dragons that we came against, but in this dungeon week, it's actually Burnout Week, which is one of the worst dungeon weeks for most players, especially, you know, because most people use Wonder Acceptance because it's the best combo. So, Burnout is very bad, which means that realistically you should be checking every single dragon and checking if it's got Burnout, which all 3 of these guys do, which means rip your run most of the time. But on the plus side, I don't really have to worry about it too much, because I don't need many more talismans, which is the reason why I urged people to try and use the first dungeon week of Divine Fest to grind, because that was the best one by far for most team comps to be grinding in. So that's the reason why if you ever see a fire dungeon, usually it's better to grind during that dungeon week. You know, I can say it a million times and people still probably won't understand until you get to a week like this, and then they're like, oh my god, I'm only getting like 1,000 this week instead of 2,000 in the first week, what do I do? It's like, well, you can't change the dungeon rotation, so you're kind of just screwed now. Yeah, you just have to try and get as many stepping stones as you can out of every run. If you are struggling with the burnout, you can try and use Frightened Speechless if you have it. There is a taste of my current predicament. But, Yeah, there's not really a lot that you could do about burnout weeks, apart from just sit through them, try and get as many stepping stones as you can, and hope that the week after is a little bit kinder, but there's no guarantee that next week won't be a void week. So, yeah, I hope that you don't have too many more talismans that you have to try and collect, or at least you've made good progress up till now. If you're someone that doesn't have a single divine yet, but you're still making your way through, you know, good luck. I do hope that you get lots of times 50s, and if you do need any of these dragons available in this new chest, I do hope that you can get them. I've already got duplicates of all of these dragons, like Peach, and I have a lot of Colossus, because these dragons have come before. Like, I don't really care about those, it's mainly just the divines. That's the thing I care about, but less than 200 talismans left to go for me, and technically this event is more or less done apart from that castle event in week 4. So I'm feeling pretty good. Well, not in my body and my soul, but in terms of my DML progress, I'm feeling okay. So all I can say is good luck. If you are going for cherry ice, by the way, then yes, you'll probably have an okay time if you're trying to grind out the dungeon, but free legendary, potentially, if you do enough dungeon grinding this week, so good luck with that too. Do I have a duplicate cherry ice? Maybe I do. Strange. Why am I at 22 pieces? I must have a duplicate. See what I mean? I don't even know anymore. I don't know what I have. I don't know what I have duplicates of. I'm going crazy. I'm insane. Anywho, that is my current situation, so we'll be back eventually when we have those divines ready to hatch. In the meantime, I will keep doing dungeon grinding, collecting more talismans, getting Koliada unlocked, and then hopefully taking a break. Because, you know, if I can basically miss out on a week of DML between all the major event stuff, that's probably a good thing. And then we'll be back for castle event stuff. So, if you were wondering why you didn't have all the pieces of the Isis dragon that you needed, it's because we're gonna have another castle event after this solo event is done. So then, you'll be able to get more pieces, but I hope you're ready to log in every 20 minutes for this Heart of Iron event, because that's basically what it is for like the first quite a few tiers of the event. It's just logging in all the time. Also, why do I have this skunk dragon in a divine habitat? That is definitely not the place I want it to be. There you go, get your ass in that shadow habitat. Fiend, taking up valuable divine spots. Anywho, I guess on that note, I will leave you. So, best of luck. I hope that you get all the divines that you want out of this event. And until next time, I do hope that I could see you then.